This skirt has been trending for a while and I decided to give it a try, and really I love the outcome. It's looking so beautiful and you can pair this skirt with any fitted top. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today's video will be all about the making of this skirt. It is called a tiered maxi skirt, so with side pockets. If this looks like what you would love to learn, keep on watching and do not forget to subscribe if you're yet to do so. I'll be uploading the video for the top later on. For this tutorial I made use of a crepe fabric and I made use of 2 yards. So, and this fabric is not thick and it's not light. Okay, so this is the skirt, so we'll just calculate a bit. So this is the skirt. I want my skirt to have 3 layers, so because of that all I will do is to divide the length of my skirt by 3. Okay, so this is the first layer, second layer and third layer. So the length of this skirt is 44 inches, so I'll say 44 divided by 3, which is the 3 layers, will give me 14.6 something. So I approximated that to 15 inches. So that means this is the 15 inches. Okay, so I just approximated it to 15 inches. That means each of these layers the length will be 15 inches, but because I don't want it to be equal, what I'll do is for the first layer I'm going to minus 2 inches from the 15, so the first layer will be 13 inches. Okay, so I hope you understand. And then the second layer will be 15, and then for the third layer I will add 2 inches to that, making 17 inches. Okay, so that there will be different layers, so that they won't be the same length. So this is it for the length. Okay, so now to cut out the width, okay, to know the width to cut out, what I simply did was my hip. I times my hip measurement by 1.5 inches. Okay, so my hip is 39, so I'll say 39 times 1.5, and this will give me 58 inches for the first layer. So the first layer would be 58 inches. Okay, so I'll just draw out the skirt again just so that I don't understand. So this is for the width, so the first layer is 58 inches. So to get the second layer I am going to say this 58 inches times 1.5. Okay, and that will give me 87 inches. So the second layer will be 87 inches, and then for the third layer I am going to times this 87 times 1.5, and that will give me 130.5 inches. So that was how I got the width of this skirt. So if you don't want it fuller, then you can reduce your measurements. Okay, so it's not like it's a standard like that. Okay, so now this is it for the calculations. I discovered that it was not visible enough and I just zoomed the camera to show you guys what I was trying to explain. Okay, so this is the skirt. Okay, the length is 44 inches, as you can see. So I divided it by 3. That 3 is because my skirt will be having 3 layers. So if yours will be having more than 3 layers, go ahead and divide it by the amount of layers you want to have. So after doing that, the first one I got after dividing it, it is 15 inches. So I just reduced the first one so that they will not be equal. So that was how I got the length. And then for the width, that is the wideness, I times my hip times 1.5 inch, and then the answer I got, which is 58 inches, I times that by 1.5 inch to get the second layer and then the third layer. So that's basically what I just explained. I hope you understand, guys. So this is the first layer and this is what it is looking like. So what you'll be doing is simple, and this is the second layer. So you can see that I have a joining, so you might have joinings, because in order for the fabric to be enough, okay, you might have a joining. So what I did is to place the second layer into two, and I cut it out and I labeled it at second layer. This is because the skirt will be having back side and front side. So this is the first layer. I'll also divide it into two so that it will be two. I hope you understand. And I'll repeat the same thing for the third layer as well. So I labeled it as one. So this is because the skirt will be having both front and back. So I'll repeat the same thing for this third layers. So after cutting them out, this is what it is looking like: the first layer, second layer, and the third layer. So there's another piece that looks exactly like this. Okay, so that's just what I'm trying to explain. So what I'll do now is to run a gathered stitch on the third layer. That is the last one. So you run a loose stitch, and then you gather it. So after gathering it, this is what it is looking like. Okay, do not forget that it is the third layers, and then I will join it to the second layer. Okay, can you see how I'm joining it? So I'll just join it all the way to the end. Okay, so this is what will give us that gathered effect that you can see. So I'll just go ahead and ensure that they are equal, and then I'll join it. After joining it, I'll also run a gathered stitch on the second layer. That is after I must have joined it to the third layers. So this is what I have. Okay, so for the I've joined the second and the third together, and this is the first layer. So I just joined the first layer. You are not going to run a gather stitch on the first layer, so you should have something that looks like this when you are done for yours. So this is one of the piece, and then this is the second part. So to get my pocket, my fabric was not enough, so I just ended up making just one pocket, one side pocket. But if yours is enough, then you can go ahead and make two pockets. All you need to do is to fold your fabric this way, and then you place your hand. Make sure there is enough room for your hands to pass through the pocket. That's just how you will cut out your pockets. Okay, so that was what I just did. So I have just two pieces, which is just for one pocket. So what I'll do is to place the skirt like this, one side of the skirt, and then I'm going to come down by 3 inches. I came down by 3 inches. So this also depends on how low or how high you want your pockets to be. So after I marked the 3 inches, I brought one of the pockets and I placed it right side facing right side, and I'll stitch it down like this. After stitching it down, I'll also repeat the same thing for this other side of the skirt. I'll also come down by 3 inches. I'm going to place the pocket, and then I am going to join the skirts together. Don't worry, I'll be showing you what to do. So I just attach the pocket now, and then I'll hold it down with my pin. So after doing that, I'll flip it like so, right side facing right side, and then you stitch on the side. Now please take note of what I'll be saying. So you first of all pin these sides together. They have to be equal. Do you get? So these sides where you have your gathers for the two skirts, pin it together so that it will be equal when you are done stitching. So after pinning it together, you take this to your sewing machine and stitch all the way like this. Okay, from the beginning down, all like this, down to the end of your skirt. So you repeat the same thing for this other side. This other side does not have a pocket, so you just go ahead and stitch it all the way down. Okay, so that's just basically what you'll be doing. Do not forget to pin these parts together so that it stays so that it aligns together. Okay. Okay, so after doing that, this is what I have. Can you see my lines? They are aligning together. So that is just the idea. So this is the pocket I created. You won't even know that there's a pocket here until you put your hands inside, as you can see. So it is looking so beautiful already. And next thing we'll be doing is to measure the circumference of the waist. So after measuring, I cut out a band that will fit perfectly, and what I'll do is to close up this band. Can you see? So this band is 4 inches for the width. Okay, so I'll just close the band up and you should have something like this. After doing that, you just fold your band into two this way. You can go ahead and iron it if you want to, and then you bring back the skirt, and then we'll be placing the band on the right side of the skirt, just the way you see me demonstrating. So you just place it like this and you just keep stitching it all the way down, but you'll be leaving a small piece for just to create a channel for your elastic to pass through. There are so many ways you can fix your band. Okay, so this is the elastic I'm going to be using. So I just place this elastic around my waist and I cut out what I felt I would be comfortable with. So what I'll do now is to just, this is channel I created, so I'll just use this pin to insert this elastic. So I'll be doing this off camera. So when you get to the other side of the dress, what you do is to pull out the elastic carefully, and then you fold the two sides of the elastic like this and stitch it down firmly. After stitching it, you close up this opening that you have. So after doing that, this is what the skirt is already looking like. Beautiful, right? So next thing you'll be doing now is to sew the down part, that is to hem the bottom part of the skirt, just the way you fold your wrappers. So this is what it is looking like after I was done. Very neat and beautiful. So you go ahead and weave the inside so that it looks very neat and professional. So guys, that is basically it for this video. I hope you find it helpful. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.